Hi, this is Dr. Rubenstein, and I am standing on the corner of 9th Street and Peoples Avenue. And let me turn you around here. Oh, at one time, this is where Peoples Avenue ended. It stopped right here. There was houses on both sides, much as you see here. These are probably somewhat period houses. The 1800s map has it stopping right here, and going across, it's fairly typical of what you would see of brownstone houses in this part of the world. From here on down was another street. Now this is 8th Street. This is all houses in here. This road was put in. They took out a bunch of houses, and where you see over there Kennedy Towers was actually a large portion of the 4th Ward. And what you see here is, well, this, as I say, this was all houses in here. Obviously, I'll show you maps. They're probably popping up right now. But we're going to look around here. This was all homes at one time. Up on the hill. That's 8th Street down there. What we would think of as Harrison Place and North 4th Street's gone. And this has all been massaged. I don't think you're going to find any ruins or anything like that here. This has been gone since the 1960s. So there might be things buried under here, but I doubt there's anything here from the past. But that over there is Federal Street. This is 8th Avenue, excuse me, 8th Street. And over there, this is Peoples right here. And as I say, it ended there. And I'll show you the maps will be up there also. So we're going to travel down and take a look at what was a majority of the 4th Ward. It is now gone and was replaced by Kennedy Towers. We'll pick up another location. Alright, we're picking back up here on 6th Avenue, which is down the hill. I'll show you that in a second here. But at one time this was called North 3rd Street. 5th Avenue was called 2nd Street. And the names were changed. The railroad came through here. I'll show you where that used to come through. It wasn't here. This wasn't here. Understand that all these blocks here were homes. Probably a couple hundred homes, at least, were in here before they tore down this section of Troy. That was torn down. Well, starting in the 1950s, it was starting to be torn down because of Urban Renewal. Let me turn this around here so you can see where I'm walking. So, of course, historic downtown ahead. That's Federal Street. The railroad used to come right through here at one point. And I'll show you some of the buildings that still show that. But you might say the 4th Ward was destroyed because of, well, Urban Renewal. From the 1950s on, they were trying to control slums, clear out red light districts, and over here, this was sort of a slummy area. At least that's what they said. And so what we find is that we are going to wait for the light. That is known as Kennedy Towers. We're going to walk over there about where the streets were. Well, I'm waiting for the lights to change. They're not in our favor at the moment. I'll pick up on the other side of the street. Oh, we've got to cross the street here. But as I say, that was all homes This was all homes, and if you walk up about in through here, believe it or not, there was a street in here, and it was called North 4th Street. So right about in here somewhere was a street. Could have been across from that driveway there, we're not sure, I'm not sure. But it was up in here. And somewhere in here was a school. Hello. So I believe the 4th Ward School was right up in here. So this is where the 4th Ward School would have been. The towers are there. They were built in '66. But I don't see any plaque or anything like that here. Up by that gazebo, up that way, was a laundry. Across the road where the fire department was a foundry. And in here, somewhere in here, was a school. The 4th Ward Public School. And then up over here would have been the street Harrison Place. Probably up in here, where this flat is. Harrison Place would have been in here. And again, this is housing, low-income housing. But the street would have been right in here somewhere. And it would have been Harrison Place. And between this street here, Harrison Place, and where we just walked in down there, where North 4th Street was, just between the two streets, there was 40 houses. Just between those two streets. That's not counting the backside of those and the backside of this. And that's 8th Street up here. And that's where we were before. We were up there. So this was a big part of the 4th Ward. Probably about where that big circle was, is where the school was, where those people were sitting. But there is, frankly, no evidence of all the houses that were here. Across the road, that was all part of Urban Renewal also. That was all part of the 4th Ward. And again, I'll be showing you maps of where all these places were. And North 4th Street was sort of on an angle. So it sort of angles up a little bit. At one time they thought about building another tower, but I guess that sort of fell through. But we're going to walk across here. And again, North 4th was right through here. It's hard to believe there was a school here, homes here. But where the fire station is, there was a foundry, homes all through there. And in here, somewhere in here was a laundry. Now again, all this is been changed. Although on the map, here's the sewer system here. And it's called the crooked sewer system on the map. And so you might be able to identify some things here from where the school is. But I think the school was right over there. And laundry was up in here. So that's good. We found that sewer. And that will maybe show us where some of the the houses were and give us a little better location of the streets. And again, I'll put the maps up. That depression could be a basement. It wouldn't surprise me. So we're walking back over towards 6th Avenue, which was at one time North 3rd Street. When the train came out and things were changed, street names were changed. And then with the adding of Lansingburg in there, that made a difference also. So as I say, somewhere in here was a foundry up in there. That is one of the current stations. There's a number of them around. And this is the other end of the street here. And this one goes all the way down. This has not been changed in here. A lot of streets were truncated though, a great deal. And so here is the end of what was, well, part of Urban Renewal, although over here was too. Now it's an entrance to 787. You can see some of the Troy over there. This is Jacob Street. And again, that goes up to 8th Street. We're on over there on the other side. Somewhere here we're going to try to cross the street and go back across when we get a red light. So I'll pick up when I get across. Well, I did get across. And I'm not sure what we're doing. But there's Kennedy Towers. This is what goes over for the 4th Ward. Just think about how much gold, laundry, huge laundry. Huge laundry. Homes. This was a laundry over there. This was a foundry. This was built in '93. As we walk into this back street here, I will show you some of the other changes that occurred. This is actually, well, it's East Street now, but it was known as Green Street, and it went all the way through. And this is where you can see. So this used to be Green Street, and it's now dead-ended down that way. Well, one time that was a street that went right straight through to the other end, and it comes from over there, Jacob Street. Then if we go up here, I think we will be able to see somewhat where the train came through at one point. See, they built the homes in weird shapes because the railroad passed by. And when they built buildings, they had to accommodate the railroads. And I think we'll be able to get a look-see here. Again, on the other side of this fence was what was Green Street. Somehow I've got those reversed. You'll be able to see it, of course. But we walk over here, and the railroad used to come through here. And this little street here is called Bridge Street. But as you can see, the building is built on an angle. And that's because the railroad used to come through here. That was built just that way. You can see the angle on it. And so that has been here since the 1880s. And this bridge wasn't here at the time. As I said, this is called Bridge Street. Just this little section here. And then this goes over to what was North 2nd Street, and it is now 5th Avenue. And they are refurbishing some of the buildings here, which is nice to see. Very nice to see. A little bit of gentrification, I guess, which is good and bad in other ways. But you can see back from here just how that building was built on an angle, and that's because the railroad came through here. That's a little look at the 4th Ward and what was going on, what was lost, number of houses gone. By the way, they only have 135 units in the Kennedy Towers, and they took out hundreds of homes. Slums, I guess, that's what they say. But as you can see from the map, that was quite a few. And they shut off closed a couple of streets. And renamed things. So I thought I would give you this little view, and please subscribe, ring the bell, hit the like button, check out the description. I have more information on the bottom about all of this, and you'll find links to books, my books, links to channel merch, and you'll also see a link to Gypsy Guide where you can get 15% off if you use the code. So with that, let me end you with just a little look down Old Green Street. You have a good day now. Bye-bye.